YouTube. I'm Zach, you're watching ZakDTV. Thanks for stopping in. If you like what I do, give me a subscribe. If you don't, let me know why in the comments. You can follow me here on Facebook, Twitter. Let's get to know each other. I do my show in 4 steps. It is something interesting, something fun, something important, then we'll end up with something dumb. I'm in a great mood today, so let's get this thing going. First off, I want to do something interesting. You know, everybody's talking about Donald Trump, what he's done, how he's been, blah, 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 how he's ruining the world. He has been something to watch, hasn't he? Well, I'll tell you what. He's only been in office for a few days here, and so far he has killed the Trans-Pacific Partnership, gave the green light to 2 oil pipelines that are very heavily disputed. He signed an executive order that's going to roll back Obamacare. He set up meetings to renegotiate NAFTA. He has banned the EPA from tweeting. He's done a total social media blackout on the EPA here. And he froze the hiring of all federal employees except for the military. That's a pretty busy first couple of days. Now, of course, during this time, he's also been spewing his normal Twitter posts, you know, short little statements that sound like something coming from a pissed off teenager. He's fun to watch, isn't he? You know, occasionally they do contain stuff that I agree with. Like this, he put out a tweet saying that Chicago needs to fix his violent problem or he will send in the feds. I wholeheartedly agree with this one. I know, martial law, that kind of stuff, we can get into that kind of debate. It wouldn't have to be martial law. We have a situation here where 228 shootings have happened in Chicago since the beginning of this year. That's 25 days. There have been 228 shootings. 42 deaths. 42 people have died because of this. Something needs to be done. That's almost 2 people a day. Now, before you go start telling me that I'm an anti-gun activist, this and that, and we should all have our rights to bear guns, I agree. We should have the right to bear guns. I believe in gun control, though. I believe in a background check. I believe in a waiting period. I believe that if you're legally allowed to own a gun, own as many as you want. You could fill your room with weapons for all I care. The problem is, in Chicago, I doubt a lot of these guys have their permits. They sure don't have their concealed carry permits. I bet. These aren't the normal gun owners that we're talking about. Gun violence, when we talk about gun violence, we're not talking about gun owners, we're talking about criminals. And these criminals are now terrorizing the streets of Chicago. At what point do we classify these gangs? Why are the Bloods and the Crips and the M13 and all these other guys, why aren't they classified as terrorists? And now I know I just spoke a bunch of minority gangs. What about the Hells Angels? What about the Outlaws? All these people should be labeled as terrorists. If you use terror to get your agenda, then you are a terrorist. These gang members use terror, use drive-by shootings, use violence to enforce their will on the people around them. Therefore, they are terrorists. We should send the feds in. The cops know who these people are. They know what the tattoos look like. Go in and round every one of these people up and put them in Guantanamo. If it's going to stay open, let's use it. I don't know. That's my opinion. What's yours? I'd like to know what you think. Go ahead and leave me a comment. The next thing I want to talk to you about, something I thought was great, the video I ran across this morning. And I'll tell you what, though, I don't plan it this way, but it does seem like my stories end up sharing a common thread. This is a story of how a father decided to put out the gender of his baby. He decided to get some exploding targets, pack some chalk in them, and blow them up. Nice blue cloud went up in the air. It looked cool. Fun time. I thought it was great. He's having a little baby boy. Congratulations, John Sturkle, on your new boy. I hope you guys enjoy him. Having kids is great fun. Now, on the downside of this, though, he's being charged for setting off an explosive device without a permit. These targets can be bought in just about any gun store, and I know myself, they get set off right up the road. So it's one of those things. People didn't know it was against the law. He could be facing a $1,000 fine and up to a year in prison. It seems kind of ridiculous for an over-the-counter target, but hey, the law is the law. He said he will go to court with this. He will go plead guilty. He did it. He's going to stand up for it. He knows what he did. He didn't know it was wrong at the time. Even the local government didn't know it was wrong at the time. So he's going to take responsibility for his actions, which is a lot more than a lot of people do, and I respect him for that too. John Sturkle of Nebraska, here's my thumbs up to you, man. You're a good dude. My next story, I'm going to do something important. This is extremely important. This is going to have effects, global ramifications, and we just have to see what happens. What we have is the China-U.S. relationships that are happening right now. We, in the U.S. alone, have lost between 2.4 to 2.7 million jobs to China. Not lost, sent them there. We purposely sent these jobs over there. Cheaper labor, lower quality of living. They don't care about the pollution as much. You've seen the photos of Beijing where There's days they tell people not to go outside. They were carrying umbrellas to keep snow off them because it was that dangerous. They don't care about the environment over there. That makes it so cheap for people to manufacture toxic goods and not have to worry about it because it's not happening here in the US. We've done this to ourselves. With this change in manufacturing, we've sent a lot of our tech over. They're knocking off the iPhones, the Macs, the Samsung phones. They're knocking off cars even, like Rolls-Royce. They're knocking off our restaurant names even. It's a little worse when they start going with our military equipment, like the F-35 Joint Strike Fighter. That is the newest jet that we have. It is not even in service yet. And there's China's version. They also have a version of our Black Hawk helicopter. Right there. Our Predator drone, the C-17, even our Humvees. There's other things too that they've copied of our military. China's industrial culture seems to be one of theft. Theft of intellectual property, and now it's even theft of land or water. I am talking about the South China Sea. China is claiming rights to the full South China Sea, which, according to international law, Brunei, China, Taiwan, Malaysia, Indonesia, Philippines, Vietnam, all have claims to that international water. They have rights to fish it, they have rights to do oil and gas exploration, they have rights to it. China is even going so far as to try to claim an area outside the China Sea that is India's territory. China says it's theirs, and there's nothing you can do about it. They have gone as far as building artificial islands in order to install military installations, runways, compounds, anti-air defense, to force their rights in that area. This area includes some major shipping lanes, and like I said, the fishing, the oil reserves, and the people in that area are just being oppressed by China right now. Because of this, Sean Spicer, he's the White House spokesman, said we would defend international waters. On Monday, he made the statement that if these islands are in fact in international waters and not part of China proper, we'll make sure to defend international waters from being taken over by one country. Rex Tillerson made a similar remark about a week ago, I guess, claiming that we should block access from China to those man-made islands they put in there. In response to these statements, China has now moved an aircraft carrier. They only have one. They moved their aircraft carrier into the China Sea, and a destroyer that they're calling a carrier killer. Also, China has previously made statements that they should build their nuclear weapon arsenal to the point that it forces the world and America to respect them. That was printed in their state-run paper not long before they went to the UN and made a speech stating that nuclear weapons should be completely destroyed over time to make the world free of nuclear weapons. Kind of seems to me like they're holding out the hand for peace with a knife ready to stab you when you come in close. This country is just rife with corruption, the state-sanctioned murder of anyone that they see as unfit. Right now, Falun Gong, it's a meditation spiritual practice that involves meditation and Qi Gong exercise. Picture it like Tai Chi that you see the old ladies doing in the park. It focuses on truthfulness, compassion, and forbearance. Its practitioners are being routinely rounded up now, beaten to death in the streets, imprisoned just for meditating. China says it's anti-state. Remember what they did to the Tibetan monks? China went in there, oppressed a whole religion, killed a lot of monks, tried to take down a peaceful version of belief. Who can forget Tiananmen Square, where they murdered a whole mess of college students for protesting because they wanted their rights. The Chinese government is not run by good people, is the long run here, and I don't think they can be trusted. How do we fix this problem? I remember talking to my father a while back and him stating I grew up during the Cold War. That might mark me for my age, but I did. I think the Greys do that fine. And during the Cold War, there's this imminent threat of America and Russia going at each other with nuclear weapons. They called it mad mutual assured destruction. If one launched, we're all going to launch and we're just going to wipe each other out. That's what was going to happen. Go ahead, use your nukes, we'll use ours. China sat back and said, fine, we wouldn't mind. There's more Chinese in the world than any other race. If anybody's left, they'll be Chinese. If we do like Tillerson said and blockade these islands, China said that'll be seen as an act of war. China has also stated that any sanctions from the United States would be considered an act of war. If the US and China went to war, it'd be basically like fighting ourselves. We'd be fighting similar planes, arms, vehicles as the US makes. Granted, they'd be Chinese knockoffs of our stuff, but they still have similar technology. And what would this accomplish? A great big war. If they're losing, do you think they'd nuke us? Possibly. What about sanctions? If we cut off trade with China, not buy their goods, it might be able to slow them down, but it's not going to stop them from doing what they're going to do. And they've even said sanctions would be seen as an act of war. How do we deal with something like this? Or are we just looking at World War III coming up? Let me know what you think. Leave me a comment down below. Let's wrap this up with the dumb of the day. Today's winner of my dumb award is Lena Narcisian. I believe I'm pronouncing her name right. She's a YouTuber. She has a channel. It's Lena the Plug. And she has decided to do a promotion. Her idea for promotion is if she gets 1 million subscribers, she will release a sex tape. Personally, I even hope she kind of gets banned from YouTube because it sounds like she's promoting porn. There's got to be some kind of community guideline against people like this. She has said in a statement that she is frequently asked to do porn, but she doesn't want to. However, making a sex tape with fellow YouTuber Adam22 would be fine. And if she could reach 1 million subscribers, she'll release it. What is wrong with this woman? Is she just so needy for attention? She's willing to put out something that will end up on the internet forever? Her children will see this. Could you imagine being the kid that goes to school and having other kids tell you, oh, I saw your mom in a sex tape? It'd be terrifying for me. But we live in a culture where it seems that dropping a sex tape is your way to fame. And I guess that's what she's thinking too. I'm going to wrap up my show there. Thanks for watching. If you like what I do, remember, give me a subscribe, give me a like, leave a comment. This is a discussion. I want to hear from you guys. I want to know what you think. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.